Sometimes.
Just waiting for proximity esports.
I mean, which screen are you stuck at?
I've clicked on the stream, but दिखाई नहीं दे रहा है कुछ. अच्छा, yeah, unable to see. Hold on, let me check if I can hear. I've clicked on the stream, but दिखाई नहीं दे रहा है. अच्छा, yeah.
Okay,
you are
good to
audible.
go. All right, all the best, man. I'll leave
And
the
how do I
lobby.
make this on-air screen go away? I can't do that, is it?
On-air stream, what do you mean?
On the right, ये जो दिखा रहा है ना, on-air.
Acha, the black. Okay, yeah. Do just long press your PlayStation button.
अच्छा.
And under shading and broadcast, जहाँ broadcast का option है.
हाँ.
On the top.
Yeah.
Go there and disable comments to something. Comment का कुछ होगा option.
Yeah.
So just click that and we'll go away.
All right. See you there. Have a good
All
day.
right, man. Good luck. See you on the other side. Yep, thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Good evening, folks. We are in Barcelona today for this week's Proximity F1 Racing League. We're picking up the action right now on board with one of the Racing Point cars. I think who's going to begin his flying lap right now. Let's stay on board. Not a great exit from the last corner. That would have compromised his speed down the straight. And he runs wide, so that lap's out of the bag. On board with one of the Ferraris now, and he spins as well. Right now we've seen that one of the Red Bull cars has gone faster right now. 1:18.670. On board with Ashwin Lakwani. Looks like he's backed off this lap. Ferrari seems to be on the out lap, so let's see if he can pull in a good time here. Coming out of the last corner, down the straight, on board with the Ferrari. Starting his flying lap right now. Nice and tidy into the C1 and C2. .7 in sector 1. Runs a little bit deep there at the hairpin. Nice little line there, but a little mistake on the corner exit. Let's see if he can get his braking point right. Oh, and I'm afraid he's gone way too deep into that corner. That completely compromises this line. The other Red Bull car right now, dead last, yet to put in a lap. And I think here we go, starting on his flying lap. Nice clean exit from the last corner. Oh, he's backed off for some reason. Oh, in fact, that was his flying lap. That puts him P2, right behind the other Red Bull. So, as of now, with about 11 minutes to go, it looks like a Red Bull 1-2, blocking out the front row. The other cars right now seem to be in the pit at the moment. I see the Racing Point is on one of its outlaps, looking to improve upon its time. 1:22.750. Not that quick at the moment. But we still have 10 minutes to go, so there's plenty of time left in the session for all to have another shot at this. We have Rajdeep in one of the Renaults on his outlap as well, as is the Haas. No, both the Renaults. Okay, on board with Rajdeep, taking a nice wide line into C1, keeps it flowing into C2. A wheel on the grass there, and that shoots him a little wide. I'm not sure if that's compromised his line there. Let's see how well the rest of the lap can go at this point. Yellow flags down the road for Rajdeep. Striking looking helmet, I must say. Nice and tidy through there. Oh, that's like full commitment. Goes right on the edge of the curbs there. Nice and tidy through the hairpin as well. This lap is looking good for the Renault. Perfectly done coming out of the last corner. Let's see where this puts him. 120 previous lap. Previous best time was a 120 point, I don't know what, but that puts him P3. Great lap from the Renault there. We have 70, is that how you pronounce it? Starting his flying lap in the Force India. 8th gear, top speed of about 326 down the start finish straight. Braking hard about 50 meters, nice and tidy through the right left. Got to keep it really smooth through this long sweeping right hander, followed by a short burst of straight. And for those who remember, a very famous corner where we had the incident with Lewis Hamilton, Nico Rosberg a couple of years ago. Looking nice and tidy from 7B. Absolutely smooth coming out of that fast right-hander. Perfectly hits the apex on the left. Might have to deal with the car there on the racing line. No, I'm not afraid. Oh, he's abandoned his lap. Okay. Not sure what went down there. We have, meanwhile, a new race leader who's put in a 1:18.437. Noah West coming out of the pits, followed by the Alpha, but looks like the Alpha is let through. And nice shot there of the Ferrari going by. It's pretty tight at the top. The first four covered by less than a second. We have Khanov in one of the McLarens that's gone P2 with a 1:18.532. So great lap from him. We have about 6 minutes to go, so I'm guessing all of the drivers will have about 2 more flying laps before the session ends. On board right now with Noah, who's looking to improve. Starting a flying lap with Noah, who's currently in P2. Takes a generous amount of curb through C1 and C2. Keeping it nice and tidy through C3, the long flowing corner. Might have some traffic up ahead in one of the Ferraris. Let's see if I'm not sure if the Ferrari is on its flying lap or if it'd be nice enough to get out of his way. Oh, that's gone completely wrong for the Toro Rosso there. And that Ferrari will be fairly square to brain. Completely didn't get out of the way. So new race leader at the moment is PXTXAX. Wonder how you pronounce that. Funny, should I just stick to the official car thing? Maybe it'd be easier for my viewers to pay attention to the sort of names I'm calling out. Say Red Bull car number 1, Red Bull car number 2, depending on where they're on track. A lot of these names are tongue twisters in many ways more than one. Ashwin diving into the pits as well. I think for now it's at a trials maybe. Before all of them will set out on their flying laps. Utkarsh is one of the few drivers who's out on track in the Toro Rosso, and I don't think this is his flying lap for sure. Very slow through the S's, so maybe he's on his cool down lap, going to come and dive into the pits now. Further down the track, same story with the Alpha diving into the pits as well. Down in P11 at the moment. Let's go on board with the McLaren. Who's also, I think, abandoned this lap. Meanwhile, current pole sitter seems to be on his outlap. There you have it. Both of them are on their outlap. It's now the battle of who can get across the line last. As we see the Red Bull come over, letting a bunch of the other cars go through. 2 McLarens. I think we saw Williams there, followed by one of the Alphas. One of the McLaren seems to have gone off in that fast sweeping right-hander. Wonder if that's going to affect his tire temperature. And some debris as well, as does the other McLaren. I'm not really sure if that's a great thing to encounter on your outlap. Okay, on board with Red Bull number 1. On to his flying lap. You see the DRS flap open down there. The car punching down the straight. Nice and tidy there through C1 and C2. Amazing set of corners. C3 is especially fun to look at. Nice long sweeping right. Now this amazing set of corners coming up ahead. Toro Rosso getting out of the way, rightly so. That was a perfect line there through the S's and the right hander as well, going right up to the curb on the left. Braking hard at the 100-meter board. It seems to be a blinding lap from our current pole sitter. Oh, and he's gone a little bit deep there. That's definitely been his lap. And he's going to abandon that. Caesar, meanwhile, has gone P1 with... Wow, we seem to have missed that lap. 1:17.938. Followed by Kanav _24 in the McLaren, who's gone 1:17.989. Gap between 1 and 2 extremely close. We have a new pole sitter. No OS has gone even faster. 1:17.664. Who else is on their outlap? On board with one of the alphas right now, Mayank. Pretty slow out of that corner. I don't think this is going to be an improvement for him. Nope. And I think that's about it, folks. That brings us to the end of the session. As we see all of our drivers making their way back to the pit. Nice top shot from here. Beautiful circuit. We have a minute left in the session. I'm not sure who's on their flying lap here. Yep, and there we have it. Stunning end to a qualifying session. If you're just joining us for this evening's broadcast, we're in sunny Spain at the very famous Circuit de Barcelona, Catalonia. We have a 25% race distance, and I think that equates to about 13 to 15 laps. Pardon my math. We have about a second to go before the session goes live, and here we are. That's an amazing start for both the Toro Rosso and the Williams there. Nice clean gap up into C1, going further down the field. I think everyone's off to a nice clean start. McLaren in P3. Oh no, pardon me folks, this is the warm-up lap, I'm afraid. Yep, pardon me there. I thought we were. I thought I was late and I missed the start of the race, but turns out that it was indeed the formation lap. In fact, on board with the Toro Rosso sitting on pole, followed by the Williams in P2. We have a McLaren in P3 and a Red Bull in P4. P6 is the Haas, P7 Renault, P8 Haas again. And the Ferrari, no, that'll be the Alfa, pardon me, rounding up the top 10. Okay, switching back on to our race leader. We have one of the Ferraris that seems to be glitched out there at the back of the grid, I'm not sure. Okay, looks like we're all set. The grid's in place. We wait for the 5 lights, there you go. The countdown. Lights out and away we go. Nice start from P1. The Williams seems to have got the better launch there into turn 1, and it's going to be tight. Oh, they seem to have collided with each other. Casualty, big casualty there for the Red Bull, but this is plumb handed in to the McLaren, which is right now comfortably pulled ahead. In P2, P3, P4, all in a scrap going side by side. Both the Red Bulls as well. Further down the field, the Renault's got a quick one. Seems to have made a place there on one of the Red Bulls there. On board with the Renault right now. Let's see if he gets a move right down on the inside of the Red Bull there. Oh, and he goes for it. It's a late lunge, but he makes it stick. I wonder if there was any damage there. Rajdeep Paul, nice move down the inside. Reminded me of Ricardo a bit there. Both the Red Bulls now in P4, P5. One of the Red Bulls definitely has damage there. Ashwin seems to have found that place back again. Interesting to see if Rajdeep would try and close the gap again on the break. Looks like he can. It'll be very interesting to see if he can like sail him right through the S's so that he'll have the advantage of the slipstream down the straight. But looks like the Red Bull seems to have gotten the better exit there from that corner. Further down the field in the racing point, closely following the other McLaren. Let's see if he's close enough to make a move down the straight. McLaren pulls to the right to avoid giving him the benefit of the toe. The Haas right now in place P2, just a little over a second behind him. Apologies, I haven't done my research on the track because I'm not sure where the DRS detection points are, but either way, little over a second there. I'm not sure, he might have DRS down the straight. And no, he doesn't. Even otherwise, the McLaren seems to have gotten a better run there out of that corner. On board with the other Red Bull right now, which seems to have caught up right up to the back of that horse. Looks like everyone in the top 10 running soft at the moment. We have Caesar, who's fallen right up to the back as a result of his corner 1 incident and the damage as a result, and he's had to make a pit stop out of the schedule, which is probably why he's taken on the hard. And just as we've spoken, he seems to have dived back into the pits again for a set of mediums. On board with Ashwin, the first of the Red Bulls. Looks like he's got a nice exit out of the last corner, and DRS this time very comfortably down the straight on the Haas, in time for the first corner as well as the second, and easy does it. Interesting to see if the Haas can give a fight back of some sort. Pretty close at this point. Might have an opportunity down the back straight if he can manage to sail in through the S's. And this is making it look interesting for the Renault behind us. Rajdeep, who was very briefly up into third, but I'm not sure what went down, but he now finds himself in P5. Nice clean. and tidy through the last corner as well. DRS once again as the Red Bull dives to the right, but no use there because the Haas followed him, and that seems to have worked very well for the Haas to close the gap right down to the back of that Red Bull. And while all of this is happening, the Renault in P4 seems to be interested as well. Great battle we're having at the moment, positions 2, 3 and 4. We have a little bit of a gap that opens up after that, couple of seconds, before we have the other Haas, followed by the Alfa, the Ferrari and the other Racing Point. No, I'm sorry, the other Williams. McLaren seems to be in the lead comfortably for the moment. 1.7 second gap as the Haas, I think, trying a little too hard at the moment. Gets one wheel on the curb, puts him out of shape. And this entire time, the Renault seems to be closing in on this battle. And there we have it, both the Renault and the Haas diving into the pit, one after the other. And we have a new race leader, the Red Bull. Very tidy stop there. The Haas continues to stay in front, as does the McLaren. Wonder why Ashwin chose to stay out there. Let's see if he's got some extra pace that he can unleash in the clean air that he now finds himself in. Perfectly tidy there. A big gap followed to about 4.7 seconds before we have P2, which is the other Haas. Interesting to see if race leader will dive into the pits, and yes, he does. The Red Bull's in the pits. So what is essential right now is for us to go on board the McLaren, who's net P1 as a result of pitting earlier. So it will be interesting to see if he can come out in front of the Toro Rosso. Looks like he's comfortably ahead. There we have a shot of the Red Bull, who comes out just in front of the Haas. So I think that pit stop seems to have paid off for the Red Bull. But the Haas is probably going to have slightly warmer tires. This should make for a very interesting battle. But we've now been about 7-8 corners since the Red Bull come out of the pit. Should have his tires nice and warm by now. And the grip levels should be similar between the Red Bull and the Haas at about this point. DRS down the straight. Let's see how much he can close up to the back of that Red Bull. Great TV shot, great TV angle this is. It puts the view at the eye line almost off the driver inside the car, so you really understand how plain the track is, I mean how level the circuit is. The Haas seems to have lost a little bit of time in the last corner, so did the Renault there, which is good news I guess for the Red Bull, but the Haas seems to be slightly better on the Haas there. Renault seems to have gone a bit out of shape in that previous corner, and that completely put him sideways, and he's lost a big chunk of time on 2 cars up ahead. Back on board with the Haas. There you have a shot of the McLaren right up front, who now enjoys a comfortable, I must say, 3-second gap over P2 and P3. Great battle going on right now between the Haas and the Red Bull. These two guys have kept us entertained throughout the race. Back on the Haas again. DRS down the straight. No amount of weaving by the Red Bull can break the toe, I'm afraid. But this has been the story for about 3 laps now. The Haas seems to close up in sector 1, but then the Red Bull suddenly finds some pace through sector 2 and is able to open up a comfortable gap by the time they reach the back straight. But I might be wrong, because this is the closest the Haas has looked so far to the Red Bull. So let's see if this is good enough for a move. DRS activated. Might go for a lunge, but no, nice and tidy there. Seems to be even closer this time. Let's see if this is any different. The Red Bull's doing a great job of defending so far. Breaks the toe again. We have a yellow flag up ahead. I don't think that's from the race leader, but seems to be one of the back markers. I'm not sure. But clearly these two haven't lifted off there. I'm not sure if this game needs you to lift off if there's a yellow flag in that particular sector, like you do in F1 in real. One of the rules when F1 takes place in real is that if a yellow flag is shown in a particular sector, the driver's required to show a certain amount of throttle liftoff. Forgetful race for one of the Ferraris there at the back. Dark passenger 1, 2, 3. Both these guys now seem to be encountering some traffic on board with the Red Bull now, who is enjoying DRS as well, I think, because of the back marker, which should help him a bit from the Haas behind. Not sure what happened to the Haas there though. Seems to have opened up a big gap. And he's lost a chunk of time there when we weren't looking. We have a 3-second time penalty. I'm not sure who that was. Down in P17, the other McLaren. We have about 5 laps to go. Caesar seems to have made a fight back from his first corner incident. DRS down the other Ferrari. Oh, he makes that look so easy, nice and comfortable. There was a huge difference in straight line speed there between the Williams and the Ferrari. He's unfortunately got now a 9-second gap before he can catch another car in front, and I'm afraid that'll be as high as he can go, because I don't think we have enough laps left. 4 laps left. That's not enough time maybe to close down. Shifting further down the field, we have the other Red Bull. DRS down the straight on the Alpha. The Alpha seems to be defending excessively. I'm not sure if that's going to work in his favor. Very comfortable. Oh, I'm not sure though. Ooh, shabby driving there from both the drivers. But I think it's the Alpha that's gotten off worse out of that incident, because the Red Bull seems to be comfortable too. Back on board with our top 3. These guys have stayed glued to each other through the entire duration of this race. Looks like Ashwin's opened up a 2-second gap over the Haas and the Red Bull. No, the Haas and the Renault, I'm sorry. But is actually now, looking at my timing monitor, is hunting down the race leader. It was a little over 2 seconds about 4-5 corners ago, down to 1.5 seconds. So I'm not sure if he's doing some ERS trickery here, or if the McLaren's fuel saving, I'm not sure. But it'll be interesting to see how this pans out with 3 laps to go. Not seeing too many battles further down the field. Nice smooth performance by the McLaren, I must say. He wasn't outrightly quick during quali, but looks like he's been the most consistent through the race. And he was the one who kept his nose clean in C1 when the Williams was tangled up with the other car. And if I'm correct, he started P3 or P4, and by the 3rd corner he was out in front, and he stayed there ever since. The gap, I'm afraid, has increased. I thought it was reducing, but gone back up to about 2 seconds. Rajdeep from P4 is, however, right up on the tail of the Haas. This should be interesting. Goes a little wide there. I'm not sure if that's cost him a bit of time, or manages to tidy up for the next corner. It's a little bit deep there as well. Amazing to switch on board to the cockpit for this fast right-hander. Really gives you a sense of the speed. Ooh, I think he would have gone a little deeper than he expected there. Would have cost him a bit of time. This will be the end of the 15th lap when they cross the start-finish line, which effectively means that they will be starting the penultimate lap. DRS down the straight. Nice shot, and I think he's gotten ahead comfortably there. With 1 lap left to go. The Haas definitely does have a shot at getting the place back though, because there is a DRS zone up ahead. So if he can stay up close through the S's, maybe try and make a move down the inside into the slowest part of the track. I'm afraid he's a little far behind. Yep. But the Renault does lose a little bit of time getting out of that corner. Maybe it's payback then down the straight. Beginning the last lap. I'm afraid the Haas has gone a little too wide there. That's probably ruined his chance here into C1. I'm not sure if this is going to work anymore for the Haas. Yep. Ran a little wide coming out of the last corner, but the Renault in front seems to lose a little traction coming out of C2. A slight wiggle of its tail, which gives the opportunity back to the Haas. Taking completely different lines, both the Renault and the Haas seems to go through. I'm not sure if that's a glitch or okay. There was no collision there though. Maybe it was just the internet because they're right back at where they originally were. Okay, this is it. Last chance for the Haas. Will he make a move down the inside? Oh no, he's run out of time, I'm afraid. Very tight set of corners that remain. Unless he could lunge into the last chicane maybe. Oh, nice aerial shot there, but I'm afraid it's too late. The Renault has successfully defended, and great drive by the Renault. Ooh. My apologies. The entire time I seem to have missed what is either a mistake by the McLaren, because he now seems to have finished in P2, which puts the Red Bull in P1. So while I was distracted with the fight between the Haas and the Renault, the McLaren seems to have made an error, and I'm not sure where they've gone off, but that's essentially handed the victory to the Red Bull. So we have the finishing order: Red Bull, McLaren, Renault, great dive, great defending, Haas, Toro Rosso, the other Toro Rosso, the other Haas. Great day for the Haas team. Not sure what really happened with the other Red Bull though. If I remember, maybe he was involved in the tangle in the first corner on the first lap. Alpha rounding up P9 and the other Renault to bring up the 10th position. Thanks folks for tuning in. I hope my commentary wasn't too shabby. I'm yet to get the hang of this. Hopefully it'll be better. We see Nui joining us on the podium. And good day for the Renault team and the McLaren and the Red Bull team. Good night folks. Until next time.